I thought I knew why I started my business, but it took me losing everything I loved about it to discover what I was actually meant to do. And let me take you back to the beginning, and I mean the real beginning. I played soccer my entire life. That was my identity. Soccer taught me discipline, teamwork, and what it meant to work towards something bigger than yourself. I was always the skinny soccer kid, always moving, always active. Then college happened. Cal State Long Beach 2015, I was a business major with big dreams and a fake ID. There was a bar right on campus, and let's just say I took full advantage of that situation with my fake ID. I was drinking all the time, partying constantly, and completely lost focus of everything that mattered. It got so bad that I got fired from my first job at McDonald's for being drunk on the job. Yeah, you heard that right. I couldn't even handle McDonald's. Then I got another full-time job and got fired from that one too because I kept calling off of work. I was a mess. By the time I graduated in 2019, and here's the kicker, I didn't even graduate as a business major. I got kicked out of the business program because my GPA was trash. I ended up graduating with a consumer affairs degree, which has absolutely nothing to do with what I do today. Funny how life works, right? But the real wake-up call came when I stepped on a scale and saw a number that changed everything. I had gained over 50 pounds. 50. The skinny soccer kid was gone, replaced by this overweight guy who didn't recognize himself in the mirror. I was supposed to start law school. I'd even taken the LSAT and was studying with a buddy of mine who actually ended up pursuing that route. But I looked at myself and thought, I can't even take care of my own body. How am I supposed to take care of other people's legal problems? That's when I discovered personal training. Not really because I wanted to help others initially, but because I was so desperate to just get my life back. I wanted to be that fit, disciplined person I used to be when soccer was my life. So I threw myself back into fitness. I learned everything I could and started transforming my own body. And here's where it gets interesting. I started documenting my journey on social media because I was proud of the progress I was making. People then started asking me questions, wanting to know what I was doing and how I was doing it. That's when I realized I could help others do the same thing. But the moment that would change my entire life trajectory happened on a soccer field in July. About 2.5 years ago, I was playing soccer because even though I'd gotten into fitness and personal training, soccer was still my first love. And then it happened. I ruptured my Achilles. The sound, the pain, and the immediate knowledge that something was seriously wrong. I was stuck in bed for about a week and I just couldn't do anything. But I had all this footage that I had been collecting with my camera, content from my personal training clients, random shots I'd taken, and for some time I had wanted to learn color grading, and suddenly I had nothing but time. So I dove deep. I spent that entire week learning color grading, experimenting with editing, and just really diving into the creative side of content creation. And then something clicked. This wasn't just about documenting workouts anymore. This was about storytelling, about making people feel something through the visuals. That injury forced me to slow down and discover passion I didn't even know I had. Soccer had taught me about teamwork and discipline, but this injury taught me about creativity and the power of visual storytelling. What started as recovery time became the foundation for everything I'd build next. But I had no idea I was about to make the same mistakes all over again. As I got back on my feet, literally, I started applying what I'd learned during that week of forced creativity. I began making better content for my personal training business, and the results were immediate. My first few clients got incredible transformations, and people started listening to everything I said. But here's what I didn't expect. Other business owners started reaching out to me. They were seeing my content and saying, Noel, I know I need to create content. I know I need to be on social media, but I don't have time to film, edit, write captions, and post everything. And that's when I realized I could solve another problem. These business owners had the same issues I had as a personal trainer. They were good at what they did, but nobody knew they existed because they couldn't market themselves effectively. Fast forward to the start of that new business, and my first real client was Tacos Gavilan. I was nervous as hell walking into their headquarters for that first meeting. This was my first retainer client ever, and I'm thinking, what if they realize I'm just a guy who learned color grading while recovering from his Achilles injury and was still learning along the way? But success has a funny way of becoming your biggest problem, and what happened next almost made me quit everything. I started getting more and more social media management clients. I was doing all the filming, all the editing, all the posting for everyone, and somewhere along the way, I stopped posting for myself, which was literally the main reason I started and the thing I love most about this whole journey. I was locked at my desk all day, every day. I stopped going to the gym, ironic considering I'd started this whole thing to get back in shape. I started gaining weight again. The money was coming in, but I felt like shit. I had lost the spark that got me here in the first. It was like college all over again. But instead of partying, destroying my focus, it was success. I wasn't creating anymore. I was just filming. And fulfilling without passion is just a fancy word for suffering. Then I made a decision that I thought would fix everything, but it actually taught me the most important lesson in my entire career. I brought on someone as a videographer, and I'll be honest, first I thought this would just take some work to get off my plate so I could get back to creating, but something unexpected happened. I watched her light up the same way I used to when I first picked up that camera during my recovery. She had the spark that I had lost, and instead of trying to get my spark back, I realized something profound. My fulfillment wasn't in doing all of it myself anymore. It was in helping her ignite that spark and guiding her to create amazing work. Just like soccer had taught me about the power of teamwork, I was now learning that business success wasn't about being the star player. It was about making the whole team better. After about a month of showing her the ropes, she was able to go off on her own. She started building genuine connections with her clients, and watching that happen lit me up more than any video I'd ever made. Looking back now, I realized that every failure, every setback, every moment of losing my way was actually preparing me for something bigger. Getting kicked out of the business program in college taught me that traditional paths don't work for everybody. Getting fired from McDonald's taught me that I needed to create my own opportunities. Gaining 50 pounds taught me the power of transformation. Rupturing my Achilles taught me to find opportunity in forced stillness. realness, and that I should probably create something that doesn't depend just on me. Losing my creative spark taught me that leadership is more fulfilling than individual achievement. I started as the athlete. Soccer taught me discipline and teamwork. Then I became the artist. That week of recovery, it taught me the power of visual storytelling and color grading and just being a better videographer. Then I became the strategist. I learned that creativity alone wasn't enough. I needed to impact businesses in measurable ways. But the most important discovery was still coming, and it would redefine everything I thought I knew about success. Now I'm the guide, the leader who empowers entrepreneurs and creators to show up as their real self, build something they're proud of, and grow with freedom and purpose. I'm not chasing success anymore. I'm creating it for others. Last week, one of our barbershop clients booked 15 appointments in his very first week after he launched his content. He had only spent $200 on it. If all those clients came back every 2 weeks for the next year and his services are 35 to 65 each, that's massive long-term profit. That's what gets me excited now. Seeing business owners actually grow their business, not just get cool videos. Just like in soccer, the best feeling isn't scoring the goal yourself. It's making the assist that helps your teammates score and ultimately help the whole team win. And here's the beautiful irony that I never saw coming. What I built isn't just a marketing aid. It's a reflection of my entire journey. Every mistake, every failure, every moment of losing my way. Start with authenticity. Add courage to show up consistently. Use creativity to stand out and build systems that give them freedom. The difference is that I can help them skip the part where they get fired from McDonald's, gain 50 pounds, lose their spark, and almost quit. I can help them build something sustainable from the beginning, something that grows them as people while it grows their business. My core belief is that authenticity plus courage plus creativity are the keys to both freedom and fulfillment. And that belief was forged through every single failure, every setback, every moment when I thought I was going the wrong direction. So if you're building something right now and you feel like you're failing, like you're going the wrong direction, like you don't know what your why is yet, that's okay. Keep showing up, learning from your mistake, keep finding the lessons in your setback. Your why will reveal itself through your journey, not before. And when it does, it'll probably be bigger and more fulfilling than anything you originally imagined. Trust the process, even when, especially when it doesn't make sense.